Hi, welcome to the Jam Plan. We are on day 4, and if you've been following this since day 1, then today should be Saturday, the 6th of January. I had to think then. So maybe there's an opportunity to socialise today. We don't want to be hermits through January. If you really can't face going out and socialising, then that's absolutely fine. I decided we always went down the pub, me and hubby, we always went down the pub at tea time on Friday for a couple of hours, tea time on Saturday for a couple of hours, and then we used to go down on Sunday to watch the footy in the local pub. So I didn't get dragged out, but I wanted to spend time with friends in the pub, and I wanted to see them, see how their week had gone. So I used to go out socialising, and I used to get ready with a plan in my head. And if you're thinking about socialising, then I would recommend, if you go into your local pub, then you'll already know what drinks they've got on offer, or maybe you've not even tried a non-alcoholic alternative, an alternative to drinking. So it might be worth checking out what they've got behind the bar. And some people find alcohol alternatives triggering, and that's absolutely fine. Then stick with soft drinks. Some people find them really helpful. I certainly found them really helpful, and I used to get them in because I used to pour them in a wine glass just to make myself feel like I was still having a treat. We'll talk about that another time. So check out the local pub, see what alternatives have got if that's what you want to do. Basically give yourself a pep talk beforehand. What I would do is I would recommend that you record a video or an audio on your phone as to the reasons why you are not drinking and how good you are feeling at the moment, and how the changes that you've noticed already. I didn't mention actually at the beginning is to take a selfie. You will really notice how your face changes. The puffiness will go down, and that's because obviously alcohol is a real dehydrator. Once we start hydrating well and drinking lots, then that puffiness goes down, because it doesn't have to hang on to all that water that we're putting into our bodies, or any liquid that we're putting into our bodies. Because if you're giving it a drink on a regular basis, it knows that you are hydrating well, so it stops hanging on to every little molecule of water that you put into your body. So you will notice that your skin will look better, the puffiness in your face will go down, your eyes will become clearer. So if you've not taken a selfie yet, I would definitely take a selfie, because you will be amazed at the difference between now and the end of the month. Also, if you want to jump on the scales and do some measurements, not everybody loses weight, because we always, and not always, but often, if you're anything like me, turn to alternatives for those cravings, which was for me was sugar. So I was a bit of a sugar monster for a whole year after. So if you are eating a little bit more than you would normally, then I personally wouldn't worry too much about it. It's far better to give up alcohol than maybe have your bag of crisps or a couple of biscuits or whatever you're having just for that craving at the end of the day. Anyway, I digress. Back to going out socializing. So yeah, record something on your phone, and I'll tell you why. Because if you get a major craving or triggered while you're out, you can take yourself off to the bathroom or take yourself off outside and just make somewhere nice and private and just listen to that recording, just to give you that little bit of a boost while you're out. Accountability is really important. If you've not told anybody yet that what you're doing, then I would highly recommend that you make yourself accountable. I never used to tell my hubby, and I would always cave. And he would always say, if I did tell him, oh yeah, how many times have I heard that, Carol? But being accountable to somebody, when you verbalise and actually speak that out and say, I'm not drinking tonight, even if it's just going out socialising, and you don't want to tell them that you're not doing the whole of dry January, just in case, I would recommend that you do, because once you make yourself accountable, it makes it so much harder. to cave, because if you said, look, I'm not drinking through January, it holds a lot of weight, especially if you trust that person. And I'm not saying you're doing it for anybody else, because that's not a good way to go, because there can always be some ill feelings sometimes if you are doing it for somebody else and you cave. Then it can cause issues, especially in partnerships. So do this for yourself, but tell someone you trust, tell someone that cares for you. Tell, even if it could be a work colleague who you get on really well with. Maybe you go socializing over the weekends or after work on Fridays, but just tell someone. So record yourself on your phone and have that with you while you're out. Make sure that they've got some alternatives for you to drink when you're down the pub, or some soft drinks if you're not into alcohol alternatives. Make yourself accountable, and it's just planning before you go. Again, I would say talk to yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you're doing really well, that you've had almost a week off alcohol, and that you are, or maybe you've had a week off alcohol already, and how well you're doing, and that you're doing great. And remind yourself how good you're feeling. Maybe your sleep's got better. You've not got that hangovers in the morning. That fogginess around in your head may have cleared. Your relationship's got a little bit better, because my hubby used to say to me, "Oh, Carol, can't you just not drink Monday to Thursday?" And I'd be like, "No, I can't, sorry." And when I stopped drinking, I was more present for my partner. So I've been waffling on, and I only said these would be for 5 minutes. So just be aware when you go out socializing, put those tips into practice. And of course, you can always leave. If you say to your friends when you go out, "Look, I've got an early start tomorrow. I'm only staying for a couple of hours." And to be honest, it gets pretty messy from sort of 9:30, 10 o'clock anyway. People start repeating themselves, start talking gibberish, slurring their words or whatever. I recognise myself in that group too. I used to get very loud when I had a drink. And to be fair, if you say you're leaving and you do leave, often people won't remember the following day. Yeah, they'll remember when you tell them you're leaving, but often they won't remember the time of day if they've had one too many anyway. So, just plan for your social outings and events that you've got, and put all those things into practice. And the more you do it, the more you go out socializing, the more your brain realizes that it's not drinking, the more successful you will be. So get out there, carry on as normal, see your friends, do your thing, and you'll be absolutely fine. So you take care. And again, just contact me by email, look at the show notes, or DM me. I'll be more than happy to give you some help and advice during this dry jam plan time. All right, take care now. Bye.